it's been a week that I have been back officially. 1 whole week. And I really wish I was still on vacation. I don't really wish I was at work at all. It was like so early when I got up this morning. Look at my eyes, they're all red. Boo. I'm starting to develop raccoon circles again. Not that they ever went away, but they were like greatly diminished by my vacation and the amount of sleep I got, which, I mean, I just gotta sleep until I wasn't tired, which is much less than most people sleep, but still more than I currently sleep. I don't know, I'm exhausted. I got up at 4:30 this morning and caught a train and came to work, and I am here sitting at my desk being like, but why? I want to be on vacation again. Can I be on vacation again? Please. I really want to go back to Ireland a lot. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I am planning on going back next year in August because there's a great deal of appeal for me there, and I really want to see my friend again. I miss him a lot. But I'm not going to go to Rhode Island or New York. I'm just going to go straight to Ireland because 3 weeks was way too long. So I'm just going to take 2 weeks and go there and come back. And I'll find a way to visit my other East Coast friends. Well, I mean, next year is their year to visit me, so it's not like I'll be off. I'll just I'll visit them on schedule and they can come to California and visit me like they're supposed to on schedule. Isn't it nice to be a grown-up adult and be able to be like, I go see them on the East Coast every other year and then they come see me in the in-between years. Like, I never thought that would be me. When I first graduated college, I was like super desperately poor and like a single mother, and I never would assume that I would have become a person who can just like take trips to the East Coast every other year and go to Europe on a whim, pretty much, and then decide almost immediately upon returning that she was going back again. That sort of success is actually pretty awesome. I'm really extremely proud of myself, to be honest. I mean, I probably sound like I'm bragging, but like when I first graduated from college, I was a single mom on my own, and like there were years when I had to decide which bill I was going to pay and which bill I was going to let lapse because it had less of a fee associated with it, and if I was going to try and float a check or if I was going to just like, what would be worse, having a bounce check and having that associated fee, or going overdraft and having the $30 fee, or the fee that would come from having my rent be late and knowing that my power wouldn't get turned off for exactly 60 days, so if I made a payment a month late, that would be okay because they weren't going to turn it off until it was 2 months late. Like, that was the sort of life I lived, and like all of my son's clothes came from Goodwill, and all of his toys were like hand-me-down toys, and I didn't buy anything new for myself at all. I just like lived with broken stuff constantly, and if my car broke down, it was like the end of the world, and I would like lay in bed with like this panic attack in my stomach and this like tense, horrible feeling of how am I going to pay for it? How am I going to solve this problem? There's no one there in the world to help me. Like, it was horrible for years. For years, that was my life. And now I'm 32, turning 33 in September, and I don't have everything ever, but I can be like, I'm sending my son to summer camp. No big deal. It's $400. I got it. And I'm gonna fly off to Europe, and I'm just gonna do it. And I am gonna host a birthday tea for my sister. No problem. I'll just pay for it. Like, it's so nice to be that person. Although sometimes I worry that because I've reached this level of success, that I've worked my way up to this point where I'm at, that money has lost some of its value to me, and that possessions are no longer as precious as they once were because, used to be I would scrimp and save and work so hard to be able to give my son like something that wasn't even the latest greatest. It would be like the second generation, or it would be hand me down or used, and I would be so excited because I saved up and was able to give him this small thing. And now it's like, well, of course I'm just going to buy him the most latest and greatest name brand whatever, brand new, straight from the factory, like no discount whatsoever. And I feel like I don't value things like I used to, because they're so easily replaceable and it doesn't matter to me quite so much. And clothing, I can just be like, oh, that's like last season, I don't really want to wear it anymore. And instead of looking for things that will continue to make me happy for like, I don't know, ages, it's hard to describe. It's part of why my plan for my future is once my son's in college, I'm going to drastically downsize. I'm going to move into a small space and reduce almost all of my items down to just the essentials, and then try to grow my own food and like use renewable energy sources, reuse my water, use solar power to like power most of my stuff. And I feel like I'm distancing myself from, I don't know, I'm so materialistic and I have so many things, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll just buy myself another dress because I've worn these dresses before and I don't want to wear the same dress that I've worn before. Like, I don't want to be that person. And I can't really modify my lifestyle while my son is in my house. At least I don't feel like I can, because I want to be able to give him that like sort of idyllic childhood, and I don't want him to be stressed out. And I guess I could do it now, but I feel like it's a life choice I want to make for myself, and not to foist it onto my child. He can make his own choices. He can observe my life and make his own decisions based on that. I didn't really mean for this to be a rant about materialism. But somehow that's what this turned into. I am going to sell all of my possessions off and move into a small space in 6-ish years, and I'm saving for it in between saving for Ireland again. That's what I'm doing, and I don't want to be at work. I don't want to be at work, even though being at work is what's going to fund my future. Oh well, I guess you can't do all fun things in life. You have to work for at least a little while. At least a little while longer, right? Of course, right?